Morning everyone, welcome to our lockdown yoga session, week 16, how are you all doing? So yoga for the heart today. We're doing a few poses that create space in the chest area. So one of yoga's clearest benefits to the heart is the ability to relax the body and the mind. This in turn may help to lower blood pressure, blood cholesterol, blood glucose levels, heart rate, as well as helping to manage stress. A few gentlish back bends in today's practice, so be careful if anyone working with any lower back or maybe neck issues today. Okay, shall we get started? Enjoy the practice everyone. Just need your mats today. I've got the blanket because I'm still working with knee and ankle issues, sadly. Okay, we are going to start in reclined bound ankle pose. So this is where you have the soles of your feet together, knees out. And just let your body settle. You can close your eyes here. Putting space between your arms and your body. Let's have the palms facing up so you get this sense of letting go, sense of surrender. Just seeing how your body is feeling this morning. And taking your focus to breathing in and out through the nose, and noticing where you're feeling the breath. Feel any movement in your tummy as you breathe in and out. Feel any movement in the ribs. And feel any movement in the chest. Just being aware of that rise and fall in the heart centre as you breathe in and out. Notice how your body naturally relaxes every time you breathe out. And a couple more full deep breaths here. Now coming into a semi-supine position. So feet in contact with the mat, knees hip distance. Let's turn the palms to face down now and slide the arms alongside the body. Spine is long. Taking bridge pose with breath, so keeping your focus with your breath. Next time you breathe in, push the hips up towards the seat. It's lovely opening in front of body. And as you breathe out, lower back down. Let's go with this 3 more times, flowing in your own breath. Breath in to lift. And a breath out to lift. Let's take that just one more time. And as you come down this time, let's take a full body stretch. Breathing in, becoming as long as you can possibly be. Pointing the toes, stretching up and over with your arms. Keeping that length on the body, we're going to bring it into banana pose. So hips stay where they are. Feet, head and hands shift as far over to the left as you can. Relax the shoulders down on the mat and then cross your right ankle on top of that. Couple of breaths here. stretch that out in the centre. Let's take it over to the right. So keep the hips where they are, just shift feet, head and hands. And then cross the left ankle on top. One more breath. And release. Knees to chest pose. So both knees come in towards your chest. Either pop the hands on top of the knees or for a deeper hold, you can catch hold of your elbows. Hold it still or rock from side to side, whatever feels good. We're getting a nice gentle stretch just on the lower. Okay, and release. We're going to rock up to all fours. Setting your tabletop position, so positioning your knees underneath your hips, wrists underneath the shoulders, apply your hand locks, so your claw fingers, and lock the elbows. We're going to start by holding cat stretch. So tilt the pelvis forward, take the chin towards the chest, and dome the back as much as you can. So you're creating this lovely space in the back of your heart centre. Pausing here for a couple of breaths. Now releasing, sending the heart and the gaze forward as we take our cow pose. Tummies relaxed, arms are strong. Finding the breath, we're going to connect those two poses to our breath. So it's a breath in here. And then as you breathe out, push back up into your cat stretch. Go with that a couple more times. Breathing in to take cow pose. Breathing out, cat stretch. Let's do one more cow, one more cat. When you come into your cat, keep that doming of the back. We're going to come from here into an extended child's pose. So we're keeping the back domed. You're taking your bottom back towards the hips. Come onto your fingertips and creep the fingers away as far as you can, keeping the bottom down. So the tops of your feet are flat on the mat. I'm keeping mine like this because I'm working with knee issues today. So really stretching out the spine, the shoulder, the arms. And then when you can creep the fingers away no further, plant them on the mat. So you're applying that hand lock again. Keeping that domed back, we're going to come back up into like a wrong cat. And hopefully there should be plenty of space now to drop the hips and come into a cobra pose. How does that feel? We're going to flow between these two with our breath. So it's an in-breath here in cobra. It's an out-breath to push back into this really long extended child's pose. If this isn't suiting you today, stick with the cat-cow. In-breath cobra. Out-breath extended child's pose. Let's take that one more time with breath. And then when you come into your cobra pose next time, we're going to pause. So if you're working with cat-cow, either come into your cobra from here, or if that's not suiting your back today, take a sphinx pose instead. If you're in your cobra pose, keep these elbows tucked into your ribs. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Your heart is lifted, your gaze is forwards. Pausing here. For 2 more breaths. For 1. Let's take a nice child's pose, shall we? So coming back, you can either have the arms out in front, or if you need to release to rest the shoulders, stack your fists and just rest your forehead on your hands. Couple of breaths here. How are you all feeling? Body starting to wake up a bit then. Okay, we'll come back to all fours. We'll take heart centre pose and come back down again for another back bend. So, from your all fours position, maybe just take your hips a little bit back from your knees. Hands a mat distance as you stretch them forwards, as you send the sitting bones back. Either resting on your forehead or for a deeper stretch, rest on your chin. You're really letting your heart melt down towards the mat. If this isn't for you this morning, extended child's pose is your alternative. Let's take 2 more breaths in. And then slide down onto your tummy. We are going to take Locust pose. Stronger you can have your feet together, or maybe take them hip distance, or maybe even mat distance. Sweep the arms behind for this variation, so interlacing the fingers. Squeeze the shoulder blades together and pull the arms down towards your feet. Just find your breath here. And then next in breath, we're going to lift as much of the body as we possibly can. We squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the heart. Lift the arms away from the back. Pausing here for 3, for 2, for 1. Nice. And release. Take a full body stretch. And then when you're ready, coming back into whichever version of child's pose you find restful, particularly for your lower belly. Okay. Let's make our way then back to all fours. We're coming up now, so downward facing dog. Again, knees underneath hips, wrists underneath your shoulders. Let's turn the toes. Take the sitting bones up, push the sitting bones back as we lift into downward facing dog. Soften the knees, push into the mat with your hands. You get your chest close to your thighs. And let's walk our dog. Nice slow stroll as you pedal the heels up and down. The hips from side to side. Right one more time and the left, and then bend both together again. Push into the mat some more. Can you get your chest even closer to those thighs? And then melt your heels down towards the mat. Enjoy the stretch. Let's take 2 more breaths in. Okay, we're going to take the gaze now between the thumbs, walking the feet towards the hands, taking a dangling pose. So we'll take the version of dangling today where we're taking hold of the elbows in front of the body. And let the body hand release. You can hold the pose still or maybe sway from side to side if that feels good for you. Just let the weight of your head carry you forward. Start to just pedal the heels very slightly so that you're getting one leg straight at a time. And then hold it still, we're coming up. Keep holding onto the elbows. So next in breath, slowly rolling up to stand up. Get to an upright position, take the arms back. So take them back alongside the ears. And then reach fingertips up towards the ceiling. Gazing between the hands. Really push into your feet, so grounding down into the feet as you reach upwards with the hands. Reach up, reach back. Big breath in here. And release. Release the hands. Okay. We're going to again connect movement with breath. So a few half-sun salutations in our standing sequence today. We'll just start with the arms though. So feet hip distance, grab the feet, engage the muscles of your legs. Arms at either side. Next time we breathe in, we're going to take the arms up, looking upwards. Your upward facing mountain. And then as you breathe out, release the arms to the side. Let's take that 2 more times, breathing in. And one more time like this, breathing in. Really stretch out. And breathing out. We're going to flow into a half sun salutation this time, so I'll do it with you, talk you through it. So it's a breath in to take the arms up, gazing upwards. As you breathe out, slight softening of the knees. You're taking the arms out to the side as you hinge forward at the hips, a swan dive. Release the hands to your mat or to your shins. Next, in-breath, half forward fold. Lift your heart, look forward. Next, out-breath, release into full forward fold. And as you breathe in, come back up, reverse swan dive. So sweeping the arms out to the side, reaching up, upward facing mountain. And breathe out, release your arms to the side. Let's go with that again, breathing in. Breathing out, swan dive. Release hands, mat or shins. Breathing in, your half forward fold. Heart lifted, gaze forwards. Breathe out. Release. And next, in breath, reverse swan dive. All the way up. And release your hands to your sides. Another version of forward fold this time. We're taking the hands behind like we did with our locust pose. So you're interlacing the fingers. You're squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the heart as you pull the hands down. And lift the arms away from the back. You're keeping this space in the chest. Breath in here. And as you breathe out, hinge forward at the hips. Come into your forward fold. Let your arms come away from the back. Neck is soft. Sitting bones lifted. Pausing here for 3. For 2. For 1. Next, in-breath coming up, keep the fingers interlaced. So you can squeeze and lift even more, lift the heart. And release the arms. Breathe in, take the arms up. And breathe out, release to your sides. How is that? Nice and flowy this morning. Okay, so a little warrior sequence now. So towards the top of your mats, back to your mountain pose, feeling strong. And a step back, left foot. So back foot is 45-degree angle unless you need to modify for ankle, knee or hip injuries or issues today, in which case rest on the top, on the ball of your foot, okay? Front legs bent, really sink those hips. Keep the heart lifted, let's sweep the arms in front. So interlace the fingers and you'll feel this nice opening in the back of the heart centre. Couple of breaths here. Now let's take the arms up alongside. You can keep the hands as they are, you can take them shoulder distance, or you can bring your palms together to touch. Let's take our gaze up towards the hands now. You sink the hips a bit lower, your warrior one pose. One more breath here. And we'll release the hands. We're taking them behind as we did in locust pose, as we did in our forward fold. It's a squeeze and a lift. We're coming into devotion warrior. Keep that space in the chest. Next time you breathe out, bow forward. Taking your shoulder to your knee. Your neck is soft. Let these arms fall away from your back. Couple of breaths here. Next, in breath, come up. Reach the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Back to your warrior one pose. We're going to release the arms And a nice big step back to the top of your mat. Flowing straight into a half sun salutation before we do the other side. Breathing in. And breathing out, swan dive, forward fold. Breathing in, half forward fold. Breathing out, release. And then breathing in to come all the way up. Breathing out, release. Right foot comes back this time. Let's set the legs, so sink the hips, back legs strong and straight, front legs bend. Sweeping the hands in front to begin with to get this space at the back. Couple of breaths here. And take the arms up alongside the ears. Keep the hands as they are, take them shoulder distance, or bring the palms together. Gazing upwards. Fingertips reach high, hips sink low. And reach the hands behind. Interlace the fingers, lift the heart. Next, out breath, bow down in your devotional warrior. Neck is soft. Arms away from your back. For 3, for 2, for 1. Push into the feet, legs as strong as you reach the hands high back to warrior 1. Let's release the hands. Step back to the top of the mat. Return back to your mountain pose. Let's flow into another half sun salutation. Breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Breathing in. Keep the hands there, so either shoulder distance or palms touching. Really spread the toes, ground your feet into the mat. We're coming down chair pose. Bottom goes back, bottom goes down. Keep the heart lifted. Pausing in your chair pose. For 3, for 2, for 1. Breathe in to reach up, upward facing mountain. Breathe out to release the arms. How are you feeling? Another half sun salutation. This time we're going to add a low lunge and come into a crescent moon pose. So still at the top of your mat, mountain pose. Let's take a breath in, reach up. Breath out, swan dive, forward fold. Breathing in to lift the heart, look forward. And as you breathe out, bend the knees enough so you can ground your hands onto the mat. We're sending the left leg back. You've come into your low lunge position. Let's just pause here for a breath or two. So fingertips, big toe in one line. Sink the hips, back legs strong and straight. One more breath. And then release that back knee to the mat, resting on the top of the foot. Come up to fingertips, so you're lifting the heart. Any knee issues, you may want to keep this low. If you're okay on the knees, you're going to take the hands forward like we did in our warrior one. So opening this space in between the shoulders. Let's take the arms up alongside the ears, lift the chest. Take the gaze up, so keep the hands here, palms touching, or maybe shoulder distance. Your crescent moon pose. Sink the hips low, reach up and back with the hands. Keep the chest lifted as we release the arms now, interlacing the fingers behind and squeeze and lift. One more breath. And release. Frame that front foot again. Let's turn the toes of the back foot. We're coming into downward facing dog. So one big step back, or take a halfway tabletop position if you prefer. We're meeting downward facing dog, and when we're here, let's walk it out. Take your gaze between your thumbs. Walk, step or jump your feet to your hands. Let's take a breath in, half forward fold, lift heart, look forward. Breath out to release. Breathing in, reverse swan dive. Upward facing that. And release the arms. Let's go again, opposite side. So it's a breath in to reach up. Breath out to take your swan dive. Breath in, half forward fold. And as you breathe out, release and send your right leg back, low lunge. Pause here. Sucking your thigh muscle up to your thigh bone on your back leg. Releasing back knee to the mat. Resting on the top of the foot. With a lift of the heart. Keep it low if you're working with knee issues. If all's well, you're sweeping the hands forwards. Slight doming of the back here. Pausing for one breath. And let's take the arms back as we start to lift the heart. Adjust your hands to palms together or shoulder distance. We start to lift the chest, lift the gaze as you bring this lovely back bend into the pose. Reaching up, reaching back. Release the hands. Let's interlace the fingers, lift the heart even more. Squeeze and release. Reframe that front foot. Let's turn the toes of the back foot, lift back up into your low lunge. Halfway cat or come straight into your downward facing dog. Are we all okay? Walk out, bend and stretch, maybe some yeses and nos with the head. We're going to come now down onto our knees, so in a kneeling position. Knees are hip distance. And you're resting, if you can, unlike me, on the tops of your feet. Just see what feels more comfortable. And just make sure your kneecaps feel safe. We're coming into a half camel pose. So, fronts of the thighs remain long. Front of the body's open. We're going to sweep hands behind. Interlace the fingers. This is squeeze and lift. Pulling those hands down towards your feet. See how that feels. So it's not so much of a thrusting of the hips forward. It's more of this lengthening through the whole of the front of the body. And releasing. Take a child's pose. So stretch the arms out in front. Take your bottom back towards your heels. Watch your breath. We're going to go again, this time option to come into full pose. So come back up onto your knees. Roll the shoulders up, roll the shoulders back. Interlace the fingers to begin with. This squeeze, this lift, as you start to pull the hands down towards your feet. See what's happening with the front of the body. If you don't like that sensation of letting go, taking your head back, keep your chin in towards your chest. Keep going down, pause here. If you want to, you can release and take hold of your heels. Take your head back if that feels good for you. It's not for everyone. So you're lengthening and opening in the front of the body. Camel pose. For 3. For 2. For 1, please. Be careful coming out. Squeeze everything as you come up. Take bottom back towards the heels. Stretch it out. Ooh, how is your back feeling? You focus to your breath. Send your breath to your lower back. You can either keep it here to close the practice, Or final pose today, Anahatarasana, our heart center pose. You're taking heart center pose with me. It's a lift of the bottom back off the heels. Stretch the hands away. We've already done this one today. And either rest on your forehead or rest on your chin. And let your heart melt down towards the mat. Try and relax as much of the body as you can. A nice yin version of the pose. Closing your eyes. And taking your focus within, taking your focus to your breath. Taking a couple of more breaths here. Push into your hands. If you were taking heart center pose with me, just take the bottom back towards the heels again. Give your lower back a bit of a rub. And release. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that. So, one of the studios I teach at is reopening on the 25th of July, as is one of the gyms. But a lot of the venues where I work are remaining closed until around September, so I'll be carrying on with these online sessions for a little bit longer, or as long as you'll keep tuning in. Thank you for joining me today, and see you online again soon. Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.